Hello everyone, I'm Karthik, working as a technical support lead in ClickLearn. Today I welcome you to the release notes walkthrough of the latest release 12.1.58.0. We have been working hard to address all your feedback and push the fixes into this release. In this release, majorly we have focused on uh, enhancing the preview of the recording. So whenever you open a recording, there is a preview that loads up to your right hand side. So that and also the structure has a preview. So the loading of that preview has been made faster in this release. With that said, let's deep dive into each and every section of the studio to see what has been fixed. First one is projects. Seamless project updates. We have optimized our process for updating projects after long periods of inactivity and when resumed from a hibernated PC. This minimizes the risk of loss of the content that you have created. Enhanced project visibility. Changing a user role from admin to author will now correctly display all the projects that that particular user has to see. In case of on-premise setups, when loading a project, usually you might have experience that you see the domain name instead of the project name. The domain name is the one where you see in the settings which updates the link of the project. So usually in on-premise setup, you see the domain name instead of the project name in the project listing. That has been fixed now, and navigation through the recording section and the administration area is now smoother and more efficient. Context menu of the project did not appear when you go back from what's new and about us page. That issue is now fixed. While recording, when you pause the recording and try to add a note, that was freezing the application, which is now fixed. In on-premise setups, importing the recording from other projects often gave an error like file not found, which is now fixed in this release. One more improvement in on-premise version is when you try to import a recording with the same name, it will now replace the older recording. You can no longer delete a folder when it contains a test file in on-premise. Previously, you were able to delete it. And also the replace with and substitute with were not working in on-premise, which is now fixed. When you try to download a Word file or PowerPoint from the recording preview, it displayed duplicate languages in the language dropdown. And as I said, the previews will now load faster. Next comes the recording editor, the text count validation when it comes to adding hyperlink showed 0 out of 72 always, even though it contained a hyperlink. So that validation is now fixed. Cropping an image when it is set to 75% previously did not crop properly, but now it is fixed. Saving the localization in the asset section did not load the preview. This issue is now fixed. In settings and metadata, even though when the on the fly setting is turned on, we were able to add new fields in the metadata from the recording. That is now restricted. Process instructions, that is when you try to record the instructions which contained the accented or diacritic characters did not reflect in the preview, and this issue is now fixed. Now when it comes to published content, downloading a huge published content was previously not possible. It directly restricted, saying that the content is too large, but now you will be able to download that content. It will try to zip the content and will let you know in the notifications for you to download it when it is ready. When it comes to UXP, logging in to the UXP extension with the content URL that contains space usually did not succeed logging in. Now the URL will be auto trimmed for you and you will be able to log in successfully. Now, when it comes to IFS scope, you can now import the scope by selecting CSV. Usually, previously we had an option to just select the folder, but now you can select the specific CSV to import it. Also, in on-premise setup, importing scope gave a success message without actually importing it. That is now fixed. Scraping values from the screenshot in a APT test was not working always. It did not display a value in some cases. That is now fixed. In the local project or an on-premise project, the entities and forms did not load when trying to configure the inside help project. This issue now fixed. And that's what has been updated. And that's a wrap for what's new in version 12.1.58.0. So see you in the next update. Stay tuned. Thanks for using the product and providing the valuable feedback. Thank you.